great day, and it's my day off. So, as I promised, I'm giving you another review. Sorry, Chris can't be here. Um, we kind of live apart, but I want to give you a review. As promised. Now, I'm just going to be chatting for a minute, but I have a question. Do you guys binge movies? Because I know, or TV shows, because we all do it, and I've been on that lately. And this review that we're going to be doing, I'm doing two reviews tonight. Live. Um, but yeah, I recently binged two shows, and I want to talk about. One of them is really big right now. The other one's sort of big, but not so much. Two I'm going to talk about are The Expanse on Sci-Fi Channel, which I recently got into thanks to a friend named Alberto. Thanks, man, for shouting that. Thanks for telling me about it. Good luck on your new job, man. And the other series will be the most recent and just praised. I'm going to be praising it, and that's Cobra Kai, the sequel series to, I guess it would be the Karate Kid. The problem with this show is now I'm trying to figure out what the whole damn continuity of that series is. Because based on what we see in this the whole movie is that the whole show is that apparently all these all of like 1, 2, and 3 are canon. I'm wondering if the next Karate Kid is considered canon. Does that mean like we wind up with Hilary Swank? Who knows? But yeah, so let's talk about first the big one that everyone's on, Cobra Kai. For those of you who don't know, why are you not watching it now? Stop watching me. Go watch this. That's that's a review. Okay, that's not my only review. So, Cobra Kai kind of takes place today. It actually quite literally takes place in 2018. So, story kind of starts off following Johnny Lawrence, the kid who basically fucked up Daniel in the first Karate Kid. Now, what's interesting is after he got his ass kicked, he became one of those like football guys or athletes who kind of burn out after school. So he's working contracting gigs. He has one of those like bad days where like his neighbor gets jumped while he's at, and that's that whole scene where you see where he kicks those kids' ass. So. Anyway, what happens is, he gets out of jail. His neighbor kid's like, hey, that was awesome. Can you teach me? No. And his car there that night gets hit by a couple of teens. And it turns out one of the girls in there, spoilers. Again, this review contains spoilers for the first few episodes. Warning you. That way you don't go get mad at me. But, so his car gets hit by Daniel LaRusso's daughter, believe it or not. Now he doesn't know that's her until he sees her later on, but find out quickly that one of her friends hit his car, and they did a hit and run. So what happened is after he gets his car repaired actually by Daniel, and so that whole scene where he walks in the dealership. And because he's kind of laying down, because Miguel's like, dude, you're kicking ass, and because he kind of felt like bad because Daniel's all successful and he's kind of a deadbeat. By the way, I found it interesting that they kind of explained that his mom had actually married a rich guy, and that's why he had all that money when he was younger. He was one of those kids whose mom, she became a trophy wife. You're not calling me. No calling. I'm not picking up the phone during the stream. I don't care what people say, but I'm gonna this review. I'm gonna knock it out quickly because apparently people are looking for me. So again, he decides to start up this backup Cobra Kai because apparently he's one of those guys like. It almost was like that little league coach or that that star football guy, or who's like, I did so well, but I kind of suck now, and he decides to become the coach. It's almost like it feels kind of like Bad News Bears. Yeah, it legitimately feels like the bad. This is like the Bad News Bears of karate. He gets a bunch of kind of misfit kids who, are kind of lacking confidence. Miguel actually gets a number of kids at school come who to learn, Cobra Kai karate, which helps out Johnny. And again, he's trying to rebuild the record. The tournament at the end, we find out that his son is having, not dealing with his dad so good. Maybe he's kind of rebellious here. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It's a lot of mixed stuff in here. It's Bad News Bears meets a redemption arc, kind of, and it's like that. Where are they now? It's kind of where are they now, all that stuff. And it ends up being a really good series. I don't want to spoil it because there's a lot of great jokes. There's a lot of references, a lot of nods. You go, I get that. But you go, oh wait, I get that. Like again, nods to the movies, either in dialogue or like oh, what's that right there? Oh no, is that is that the headband? Oh my god, it's the gi. That kind of stuff. Little like nods. But no, not spoiling it. They leave the show open for a second season, which I am really happy about. They're doing it. They did it really and they did something really good. This is a spoiler, but this is a really well way to do it. They took in one of the episodes they have Daniel going to speak with Miyagi at his grave. A lot of people do. They go, and at the end they give you like in loving memory of Pat Moriarty. I can't ever pronounce his name right, but his memory, and they even had like a stone for Miyagi, which I thought that's a really good send off. That's a really nice way to kind of bow and say thank you, Miyagi Sensei. We miss you. I just had this image of kind of like Miyagi looking down at Daniel, almost like an Asian, like kind of like Asian god, like he's like, like he's like the wise guy, going, yes, Daniel-san, you teach good karate, you teach next generation, you make Miyagi do, that kind of stuff, but no, series really good. Another people point out, one thing I do like about is it's a lot more gray. The more out things are a little bit more gray in the way things are handled. There's a great part where Johnny sees Miguel, he's calling his star pupil, and he begins seeing bits of himself that both of them come from a broken home, and then that's a big thing. This is not a huge world, but there's a whole thing about dads in this, about family issues. Daniel didn't single mom. Johnny finds out that his mom again married became a trophy wife. So and there was arguments there. We have Johnny's kid Robbie, and then you have actually Sam, who is Daniel's kid. There seem to be minor parental issues, which I thought was kind of how everyone is kind of, and it kind of shows that it's really interesting that these guys they're flawed, but and that they will go through their growth. They showed a few of the kids who were like kind of like scared, who came back like and rocked ass because they're like. But one of the other cool things they did in this was the whole thing that, and I think it's just really good with Johnny. You're seeing like Miguel. I'm like kind of arrogant like he was, and they kind of show it. They kind of like there's certain scenes again. They go, "Oh, I get it now." But I thought that was cool. Like he, and he even says it in like the whole thing. Like he doesn't want to become like the previous sensei. He wants to be better. He wants to do the right thing. He knows this is he's good at this. And the way they show it, he's kind of tough and kind of like in Bad News Bears, it fits. I hate to say this. I'm not gonna. Although I love there are some great jokes. They kind of make fun of the fact that like there's a school fight with Miguel, and there's a great part where he's talking to Johnny. He's like, "So what'd your mom think?" Oh, she doesn't know. Like what do you mean? Like, well, when the principal called home, it was my abuelita picked up, and she's good. She told me afterwards she's never been proud of me. That was when I was like, the grandma. See the fun part about that is you have side characters like that. You're like, who instantly like, I love the grandma because she's just like, even though she's speaking Spanish the whole time, but it's fun because the subtitles are just fucking hilarious. Like at one point, it turns like let's hurry up. I smoked a joint and I'm gonna start tripping. But again, I'm done kind of glowing about Cobra Kai. Good show. Watch it. It's worth a Netflix red. How if you want to think about it in a good way, if you get this and you enjoy it, you're kind of funding it. And even though I'm a YouTube creator, one of the guys, I'm hoping that maybe, I know they're trying to kind of sanitize what we do, but I'm kind of hoping that we'll have we'll see is perhaps this will help make the ground a little bit more stable. And because if YouTube's like, ooh, look at all this stuff, look where they do the Hulu and the Netflix thing having original content, maybe they'll back up and they'll go, we got all this money now, and you go, can we get some of that money? I would love to get monetized again. I'm hoping that's kind of a side that I hope that this actually happens. Maybe this will open up more opportunities for all of us. It'll be great. So, but now I'm gonna go on to the not so, everything everyone's screaming about it. And I'm gonna talk about The Expanse, which is a sci-fi series. It's on its third season. I just finished the first two seasons, and it's actually really good. It's actually set like in the future. It's set like in the 23rd century. Humanity's colonized the solar system. You thanks to like a breakthrough in like propulsion. And it's not. But the thing is, there's no like hyperdrive and stuff. It's what you might call STL, slower than light travel, and it's all kind of within the solar system. And what I'm glad about this is because was a book series. And actually, once again, guys, I'm gonna need to adjust my lights. My second light is running out of power because it's solar powered. Yeah. But yeah, it's based on a book, and the cool thing about it is, believe it or not, it has kind of a Game of Thrones feel to it, and not the whole like magic stuff like that, because there's a kind of MacGuffin like that, like a similar to a White Walk, but not quite. But anyway, the story essentially follows a crew led by a guy named James Holden, who's from Earth. And the thing is, I can't really explain everything about it because the show is a serial. As I said, it's just like Game of Thrones. It's based off a book, and it does the smart thing like Game of Thrones, and it only does like 13 episodes. The first season's 10. The second season is 13. And the one thing I think that works out well, in my opinion, is back in the day, well, you don't might know this, prior to Game of Thrones becoming the big, drama thing, most adaptations for movies and stuff like that, or sorry, of books into TV shows weren't like the best. The problem is that the one thing I think that this series is doing well is it's trying to keep things pretty, condensed. Like no filler. There are probably little things that they could go into in the world that I would love to learn, but it's it's a mixture of a kind of an action, political, and and like espionage stuff. So it's got that kind of it feels like a mixture of. I'm trying to think of how to best describe it. See, the easy thing in Cobra Kai for me was like saying, "Oh, it's basically Bad News Bears," and this one comes as like it's kind of like Black Flag, but like actually, no, what? No, to be fair, no. It's kind of like Serenity. I'm sorry, Firefly. And you have a small ship, kind of runs into trouble with the law. Only again, unlike Firefly, it's linear. Well, not linear. Sorry, it's serial. It's more serial and less episodic, which means you literally have to watch every episode. I mean, unlike the big thing is and this still happens with a lot of shows, and I noticed this is they should say you have something like Supernatural or Arrow or whatever. You'll have like small episodes that'll kind of much the way you have a body that basically it builds up into the whole arc. There's an arc that like he goes, oh we're fighting, but it turns out that this small piece eventually all leads into this. And much like you in the and that makes sense, especially for something like an Arrow, which is again based off comic books, and that kind of shit happens. You have, people don't deal with it right away, and then they kind of escalate. Then you have your arc, and then it goes away. Then you have arcs. The cool thing about something like the Expanse is like Game of Thrones, and I'm saying this, it flows. So you're like, okay, this leads into this, and it leads into this. And like Game of Thrones, the guy's still writing the books. Although, lucky for us, unlike George R. R. Martin, this guy's released him like once a year or maybe once every 2 years. And I think he's on like the 8th book or the 7th book right now, and he plans to release 2 more. So we know we're at least going to get 9 seasons. If Sci-Fi, please don't cancel. This is a really good series. I don't want to have to start reading it. There's already a fuck ton of books I need to get caught up on. I mean, what's the one? I mean, fuck, man. There's like I got Hyperion done. There's a ton of books I need to do. But that's one I actually want to see adapted is Hyperion. That would be really good. The fun thing, and that's actually what I hope they can do, is there's a number of books that I would love to see it. Especially since Sci-Fi's doing something like that, like a like Expanse, which is actually pretty hard sci-fi. Yes, there's some stuff that they have a kind of a, I forget what the term they use, but basically the MacGuffin, but it's fairly ingrained and very easily speculative science. So like, I can imagine them building a better, building a fusion drive and be having a really efficient one for traveling on the stars. That makes sense. But what I'm hoping is, and this is actually kind of cool, is that there are a number of like smaller books or a number of books that would make great science fiction, like not even like series. I think would make really good. What's it called? Like a mini series. Actually, that was my thoughts initially with something like American Gods. Although they made American Gods into a, I don't know how they took an entire book and stretched it out that long. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because the book is like 40 hours long or something like that. It's like 30 hours long for the audiobook. And like, I guess that makes sense. In some ways, I kind of wish that there were a number of books that had, or book series that they had that ability. They had the ability to do series because it would work a lot better, and it would look, like Harry Potter. I think it would have been great to have done a Harry Potter, instead of the HBO series, or something like that. But that would have worked. You could have done a set of episodes. You could have done all that fleshed out stuff. And again, that's one thing why I like the adaptations in this TV shows because, and it's done this way, is it flew. Yes, it's all about flow. But I think I have bored you guys enough talking about The Expanse and Cobra Kai. Although they're shows I'm really enjoying right now. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna need to go inside for a bit because you can't see me. Ooh, I'm a ghost. I'm just kidding. I'm here. Anyway, this has been kind of my review. Check out both The Expanse and Cobra Kai. And if you're on YouTube, check out Cobra Kai first. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch the first 2 seasons of The Expanse for free. So go, if you're under 18, ask your mom. Or not. I prefer you ask your mom because that way I'm not pointing out, go, see, this YouTuber is responsible for corrupting the youth. If only I were that great. Maybe they'll sentence me to death by hemlock. That would be cool. I wonder how that works. I wonder if it's painful. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, guys, my name's Dan. Check me out here in about 2 weeks, and we'll have Chris on again. Yay! No, I'm not mocking my co-host. It actually will be really fun to have him back on because the banter is so much better with 2 people. 2! Anyway, happy Cinco de Mayo. Check out those 2 series. And don't fucking spoil Infinity War. I haven't seen it yet. I know. I already know you're saying, but it's been 2... Shut up! Okay, you know, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I'm joking. I'm gonna find out anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have a beautiful night, beautiful day, and whatever time you're in. My name's Dan. Hasta luego.